Okay, so in your notes, that is sideways. That's a brand new sheet of paper. You are going to need more paper. I want the next, like, today and tomorrow to be on this one sheet, and I want it to look a little differently because we're going to be referring to the sheet of paper in your notes till May. So, like, this sheet of paper, you will constantly flip back. So what I want you to do is pretending that this is your sheet of paper that is sideways. I want you to make like a little title here at the top and split it into thirds. But I want that last third to be a smaller third. So maybe not exact thirds. Like basically this last column is a small column, and the two columns to the left of that are going to be wider. You're going to title that first column, here's what? So what? And now what? Here's what, so what, now what? So I want the here's what and so what to be larger columns than the now what. Now what relatively small. If you are a large writer today and tomorrow, I want you to try to go against that and write small. And I will tell you when we are moving to the next column. Okay. Here's what, so what, now what. Can I erase this? It's going to probably take up the whole page, yeah.
Like the chart. Draw it all the way.
Yeah, the entire page. Yeah. Here's what, so what, now what. So in the very first column, we are now in the very first column, and I will tell you as we move on to the next column. We probably won't do that until like either later today or maybe tomorrow. Right, Denver?
Really?
Yeah, really. Okay. That didn't make sense. I want you guys to, I don't want all of this. I used to think it was all important, but it's not. What are the two things that you can do with money?
Spend them and earn them. Spend or save. That's it.
You can earn money.
Yeah, that's not what you do with it. That's how you get it. Not whatever. You can spend or save. So in the GDP equation, C is the largest variable. It's like 71% of GDP comes just from that C, which means the other 30%-ish comes from the other three added together. So we spend more than everyone else together. So we spend more than the government, we spend more than businesses, and we spend more than foreigners, which that one's easy because they spend a negative amount because we have a negative net exports. So who spends a larger fraction of their income? What type of person spends a larger fraction of their income? Denver.
People who make less money.
Why?
Because they have less to spend with more, like, so somebody who makes more money, like the needs for life, like
only takes so much.
It's a smaller fraction of their amount that they actually earn versus like somebody who does not make as much money.
So rich people aren't spending a huge fraction of their money, so what else are they doing with it?
Saving it.
They're saving it. So, like, if you were to see this, like, I don't want you to write this down, but we are not going to use the word, like, debt, or, like, personal debt, or, like, credit card debt. We're not going to use that word in this class because we don't want to confuse it with, like, national debt, which is something completely different. So if you have zero income, you still have, like, spending to do. Like, people that make no money still have to, like, buy food and clothing and stuff. So they are in the negative savings, but we're not going to call that negative savings. If you have, does anyone in here have negative savings? Like, you have no money, yet you still have to spend, which is not like you borrow from your parents, or you swipe your little credit card. That right there, thank you for being honest, because I'm probably there with you. This is called dis savings. Dis savings. It's like spending more than you make is dis savings. You're not saving, you're dis savings. Yeah, so like, you could say rich, poor people spend what?
More.
Spend a larger percentage. They're not going to be buying more things, but they're going to be spending more of their paycheck. They're going to be spending, what do you think percentage-wise?
85 to nothing.
90 to like 110. How could you spend 110% of your savings, or percent of your money? You go into what?
That's it, savings.
You don't go into debt, you go into, yes, you go into debt. But we're going to call it dis savings. So poor people spend larger percent of income, while rich people spend a smaller percentage of their income. Rich people are probably only spending like maybe 60% of their income, while poor people are spending, I don't know, we did the math the other day, my husband and I sat down. We sat down and we're like, okay, here's our incomes, here's how much money we have. This is how much, like, okay, take away our mortgage, take away insurance, take away the cars, take away gas, take away health care, take away daycare, take away electricity and water and phone and this, that, and the other. And I think we had, like, at the end of each month, I think what was left over was, I think, $7 or something. It's like $7 of just fun. And that's just like necessity. So I think we figured going out to eat maybe like once a week or something. And then it was like $7 of just, so we spend probably 99% of our paychecks. I think teachers, for the most part, are probably around that 99% if they have any savings whatsoever. So there is, if we just said that poor people spend a larger percentage, there's a direct relationship between savings and disposable income. Has anyone ever heard of this term, disposable income? No, not necessarily, because I have disposable income. So it's after what's been taken out. After taxes. So your income, this is disposable income, is your income after taxes.
Should we write that on the first column?
Yes, yes, I will tell you when it's move on. So there's a direct relationship. So if your income goes up, your savings are going to go up. Rich people can save, and then they can invest and earn like interest on their investments, which is why rich people get richer, and poor people are usually taking any money that they make to pay off their savings, to pay off their credit card, which then also has interest on it. So while rich people are getting interest paid to them, poor people are having to pay interest. Kind of sucks. Stay in high school as long as you can. Okay. Based on some of y'all's grades, y'all, you're on your way there. Just kidding. Just kidding.
That's a blow to a lot of people.
It's fine. No, it's fine. It's fine. Okay.
Can anyone fail their senior year in three majors?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 8 people done that.
I'm a second year senior.
Obviously. In college, that's one thing. In high
I
school,
run the
that's
school. Could you get held back? I'm so cool.
Can you get held back? It's called failing them. Yeah.
Well, no, like college is serious.
No. No.
Can you do that in any other grade besides?
Yeah, like you can get held back in like elementary school.
Well, like, okay, yeah. So a lot of people get held back in like kindergarten.
You can have like
Oh.
good grades now, and then be like, crud, I'm gonna be like valedictorian.
No. No. Okay. So in your first column, hopefully you've only taken up a very little bit of that first column. But in that first column, I want you to do like a squiggly line across. Okay, so like you wrote something in the first column, we're still in that very first column. Do a squiggly line across to separate that idea to this idea. And this idea is the idea of average and marginal propensities. Does anyone know what the word propensity is? It's up there. It's written up there.
And
John.
inclination of natural tendency to behave in a particular way.
Yes, an inclination or natural tendency to behave in a particular way. It is your propensity to either like be a jerk or be nice. It's your inclination to behave in a particular way. So, but we're talking about how people spend or save. So we're talking about the idea of spending and saving today. Oh my gosh, we're not all the way across, just that one column. Okay. Yeah. Just yeah. Okay. So here's this term, APC, which stands for average propensity to consume. So let's say that, Joseph, you have $100. How much of that $100, if you like have $100, how much of that $100 do you think you would consume?
I guess it's like how much time?
Like just from that $100, how much of it would you probably spend and how much of that would you save? So let's say you found $100 on the ground today, how much of that would you consume in that $100 lifetime? All of it.
No, I don't have any. I don't really pay for anything but myself.
So like future, that's a future you problem. for like saving in
Well,
the
I think
future?
like I've already got everything I need for college. I've saved before, but like right now I don't have anything to
So envious. Okay, man, that's a nice problem to have.
Well,
So, if that's pretty rare for people to say like I'm going to spend all of it, unless you're like super poor like me, who's like spending 99% of their income. But if you, let's say that Joseph didn't say 100%. Let's say he said $80 of it, and he's going to save. He's going to have a little piggy bank and save $20 of it. To figure out his average propensity to consume, you would take your consumption over income, and you would get your APC. So let's say that he's consuming $80, and his income was $100. What is your APC? In decimal form. 0.8.
I feel like it's also depends on like time.
Of course.
Because that'd be easier to answer if it was
It's
like
like 30 years.
over a.
Well,
over
that's what we're talking about, like the average.
Because if it was like over a 1 week.
Find it. So like below it.
Yeah, if the question was like how much of that would you spend over like a 1 week period, and how much would you
Well,
save?
how about this? Like, does anyone have a job? So it's not necessarily finding money. It is earning money, and then of that, like from your paycheck, do you spend all penny, like every penny of it? No, you're not gonna like. Well, what if I'm around a store? You're around stores, yet you decide to not spend. And so, like, let's say your paycheck is only $100, and you spend $80, and your APC is going to be 0.8, but your savings, APS, is going to be, well, the flip side. You can only spend or save. So if $80 of it is consumed, we're assuming the other $20 is saved. So this time the APS, which is your average propensity to save, would be your savings over income. So this is going to be 20 over 100, which is 0.2. Why is your APC, average propensity to consume, plus your APS always equal to 1? Why is that true?
Some of us are trash.
What?
Cookie crumbles.
No. How is your average propensity to consume and average propensity to save, if you add them together, is always equal to 1?
That's your entire income.
You save 20.
What, Joseph? And DJ, I'm going to say this, and then I'm going to go to you.
That's just your entire income.
That 1 represents 100% of your entire income. For every dollar, you are spending 80 cents, and you are saving 20 cents. And so DJ's like, doesn't matter like what your income is, it's always going to be, you can only do 2 things to it. So they have to equal to the total amount of it. If it was like 75 cents for every dollar that you consume, well, that must mean you're saving 25 cents. So that would be like 0.75 plus 0.25, still is going to be equal to 1. So what this, like this number is real, because this is the type of like numbers that they might give you. They'll give you numbers that you can do in your head, so maybe not these types of numbers, but this is real. If Americans earn $470 billion a year, they spend about $450 billion of it. Together. So the APC would be 0.96. So what is Americans' APS? What? 0.04. Trent, how'd you get that? You do math in your head. So if you're given 1, could you figure out the other? If you're given 1, could you figure out the other? It's whatever it has to be for it to be added together to equal to 1. And so this is true. So here we are, ish. I mean, the numbers are kind of old, but we're probably still the same amount. The United States has the highest like APC, which makes sense because we have the highest GDP. We're the richest, so we're going to be, and the reason why we're so rich is because we spend a lot. Our GDP is our spending, and so this is our spending. Canada is close with us. United Kingdom is pretty similar. France, they have a lot of savings, like a heck of a lot of savings.
They have really nice retirements.
Well, what if we talk about savings? Where do people save? And then what do the bank do with that? Okay, not spend on government spending. Investment spending, which is like pizza ovens and grows the economy, yes? So while we might have the highest GDP right now, we have very little money towards our savings, which essentially causes us to be able to take out cheap heat ovens and grow the economy and have longer economic growth. France, though, they have a lot of money in savings.
So eventually will France like climb more?
Connor, the French don't what?
Pizza.
Oh. I thought you said they don't make very much. And I was hoping you'd said that. Because yes, our paychecks are bigger than theirs. And so even though this is a small percentage, this dollar amount might be more than this dollar amount, if that makes sense. I was hoping you had said that,
Well,
but
I was
now you said
thinking that
something else.
earlier, but I just kind of thought.
Okay.
They make like baguettes and stuff.
And
Like the Italians, we gotta watch out for because they got a lot of savings and they like pizza. So.
That is true. Thank you for being totally racist. Okay, so AP, I'm gonna call on some people. John, you just volunteered yourself. If the APC is 0.7, what's the APS? How did you figure that out? Okay, so if the total income is, oh, we did this already. Joseph with his numbers, that's why the numbers are in my head. If total income is 100 and total consumption is 80, what's the APC? 0.8. What's the APS? 0.3. But what about, total income is 100, yet total consumption is 120. How is that possible? Es posible. What? Okay, so but what would their APC be here? 1.2, but I thought it has to be equal to 1.
APS is more than 8.
APS is negative 0.2. They have dis savings, and APS is negative. APS is negative 0.2. Do they total to 1? You bet your butt, because they have to. Yes.
And so
Yes, you can add a negative number.
you can always overspend.
You
So
can't
that-
oversave.
Yeah, so that the
Like-
APC can be above.
Yes, but the APS, you can't save more than your income.
They're paying without loan.
What are you talking about?
Since if you take out a loan, it's really into a savings account.
That's dumb. Because the interest on the loan is going to be more than what you're making on the savings account.
Wait. Can people ever take out loans to put it investing into stocks?
Yeah, that's illegal. It's called buying on the margin. We don't do that anymore. That's what caused, one of the reasons that, like, the crash at 29 was so bad.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, we don't do that anymore. That's illegal. A little bit.
That makes sense.
But you can't, like, but it's like, what are you taking out this loan for? To buy a house? Just kidding. Like,
They're gonna track the money.
yes. Okay.
On to the next one.
No, still in that column. Some people write really, really bigly. Bigly?
Bigly.
Bigly. That's a Trump word. What? No squiggly. Okay, because I just said here, look it is. Oh, there it goes. Right here it says average and marginal. Notice that's like average, and that's average, but now we're talking about the marginal. Marginal propensity to consume and save. This one is the most important. Like there might be one question on the test about APC and APS. There's only 60 questions on the multiple choice part of the test. Probably about 10 of them are going to be about MPC and MPS. So it is like a massive chunk. The AP test, yes.
There's 60.
There's only 60. And so when I say like 10 of them are probably going to be about this, it is a thing that passes you or fails you on the AP exam. So, marginal propensity to consume and marginal propensity to save. This time, there's been a change of your income and a change of consumption. Like I just said, I spend like 99% of my income. But what if I change my income? What if I won the lottery? What if I got a huge raise? Do you think I'd still be saving, or sorry, do you think I'd still be spending 99% of my paycheck?
No.
No, why?
Because
poor
you
people.
have more money to save.
Now I have the ability to start saving. So the marginal goes along with like there's been some sort of change in your income. So to figure out MPC, it's going to be basically the same formula, consumption over income, but this time it's change of consumption over change of income. You could write disposable income or income, it's going to be the same thing. Same formula.
Is this the last topic on this?
On this column, yes. Okay.
Okay, it's.
I'm so much room left.
So, No, I don't want that. I don't want that. I don't want that. So marginal propensity to save is going to be the same idea. It's going to be change over savings over change of income. So it's not like even percent change. It's just like dollar amount change. So I'm going to get a marker that you can see.
White.
So let's say that Andrea was making $100 and then she got a raise to $200. Andrea, when you made $100, how much of that did you spend? 70. Please pick numbers that are easy to be replaced. Okay. And then when you get a raise, do you think you're still going to be spending only $70? Probably you'll be spending more, but you're not going to be spending like the same percent as you were before, just because you now have the ability to save. So how much money do you think that you're spending now of that $200?
120.
140.
I don't like that number.
What's a good number?
A good number would be like 110.
Okay.
What?
I'm just seeing the future of having to do math, and you guys can't have a calculator, so the AP test is going to use numbers that are easily divisible. So I'm going to say 110 maybe. You're spending more, but you're not spending like a whole bunch more. So what is the change of income? Let's figure out the denominator. MPC is change of consumption over change of income. So what's the change of income?
$400.
$100. What's the change of spending?
30. 40.
40. Well, I guess it wouldn't have been that bad if it was like whatever. Okay. So what is the MPC then?
0.4.
0.4. How did you get that?
Statistics.
Okay, no, but pretend that like there's a me in the class and like I see math and I'm immediately like, ugh, crap.
I cross off the last 2 zeros and then 4.
Okay, fantastic. That is excellent math, Lauren. Excellent math. Okay, I could totally do the same thing to figure out savings and just figure out how much she was saving here and how much she's saving here, or I could realize that still MPC plus MPS is also going to be equal to 1. So if MPC is 0.4, then for MPS,
0.6.
say it again.
0.6.
How do you know that?
Because 0.4 plus 0.6 equals 1.
Yes, correct. MPS is going to be equal to 0.6 in this problem. Okay,
Who can catch number to catch?
good math.
Nice.
Let me pick up some more people. Daniela, if MPC is 0.5, what's the MPS? How did you get that?
Because math.
Math, don't use that.
I would.
Because 1 minus 0.5 is, thank you. Connor, with an income of 1,000 and consumption is 800, what? With an income of 1,200, consumption is 900. Tell me just how to figure out the problem of MPC, like how to set up the equation. Remember, it's change of consumption over change of income. So what is our change of consumption, Connor? How did you get that? Are you looking at the right numbers?
1,000 or 1,200 minus 1,000.
Is that going to be on the numerator or the denominator? Is that a numerator or denominator?
I think that's the new.
Oh, yes, it is. Hey, Tiff. No shaking your head at me. Hey, Tiff, you know that if you made 1,000, you're going to spend $800 on it, but if you get a raise to 1,200, now you're going to be spending $900. What is your change of spending? You were spending this, now you're spending this, and what's the difference? $100 because you were spending $800, now you're spending $900, and the difference is $100.
That's great.
Yes, it is crazy. Christian, what is the change of income? How did you get that?
1,200 minus 1,000.
And look at that. What is 100, Larry, divided by 200 in decimal form? Because I don't like fractions. 0.5. And oh my God, we're back up at the top. If MPC is 0.5, what is MPS?
0.5.
And how do you figure that out, Daniela? Yay, you guys are amazing. Look at this one. Oh my God, they're all 0.5s. It's amazing.
I have a question.
I have an answer.
Okay, so you know how you're like drilling us with explaining how we did it?
Yes,
How do you think we did it? Or how would you do it as a teacher?
the same way you did it.
You just say math?
No, I would say it like Danielle said the second time.
Teacher, sorry for the real quick interruption here. Any members of the Senior Boys and Girls Club, please report to 1201 for a quick group photo for the yearbook. Again, members only of the Senior Boys and Girls Club, please report
You're a
to
member,
1201.
you're a member, you're not a member, you've never been to any of the meetings.
He's been to the meetings.
Show me your shirt.
It says Senior Boys and Girls Club.
Really?
What does that have a picture
Is
of?
there any pictures on it?
No, yes.
What's the picture of?
Senior Boys and Girls.
Incorrect. We're not seniors just yet.
You have to go. Yeah, what's the? What you're going to be in
1201?
You actually have to be in the group photo.
I don't,
No, you actually have to. That's against the
but I'm not
law.
wearing the shirt.
We could have you arrested. They're not wearing the shirt.
First of all,
Wear a shirt today?
I don't even got one. You didn't come to make one. Did you wear the shirt?
I never.
You never put it on?
I don't got money for that. I got a car and gas.
Amen.
It's a picture of, it's a picture, and they voted on it. It's a picture of us. And by us, I mean my husband and I, on our wedding. That's the shirt. And you would have known.
I'm just going with my jacket over it.
Okay, that's your shirt.
Yeah, that's
This is what you need. This is the shirt I'm going to give you when you graduate.
Okay, first off,
Can I borrow your picture on your wall to put it on my shirt?
Oh, yeah.